welcome back to Game On. I'm Nick.
And I'm Jon. And we have a special guest. It seems a vagrant has entered the studio.
No, don't. Just don't bother him.
He
just don't, because just let him be. He'll leave in his own time. Just.
It's illegal. You're not allowed to do that.
It's my last episode. Just let me have this, Jon.
Do you have a connection to this vagrant?
No. I just don't want any
You seem
issues.
really defensive of him.
No.
As if you don't want him to leave.
Anyway, it's my last episode.
Nick, stop avoiding the
Game
question.
On. It's my last episode of Game On, Jon. It's my last episode.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, it is.
Aren't you glad? You're glad, aren't you,
I mean,
Jon?
well, you're leaving me without closure. This lingering question.
You will
Who
find
is this
out
vagrant?
who he is.
How is he tied to you?
He's not tied
What
to me at
connection
all.
do you have? Look, there's something you're hiding, Nick. What are you hiding?
I'm not hiding anything, Jon. Jesus.
You're hiding Jesus?
Why? Yes, I'm hiding Jesus. He is. They're not supposed to know yet.
Is that Jesus?
It's not time yet.
Is that Jesus?
Anyway, it's my last episode, and I'm kind of sad, right?
I am too.
Yeah. I'm gonna be gone forever, off into the distance, growing old, playing League of Legends and not doing anything with my life. And you know what, though? I want to go off gracefully. I want to go where I will never grow up. I'll never grow old, and I'm never gonna die.
The internet? Like Tron?
Yeah.
Are you gonna Tron yourself?
No, I'm not gonna Tron myself.
Can you Tron me?
It's a very simple answer, Jon.
What is it?
Play and trade. Duh.
That's just a store. You'll get old. That's not Tron.
Yeah, it'll be Tron. Just come with me, okay, Jon?
I don't know.
Yeah. Come on. Yeah.
I'm getting up.
Suck it, Kevin.
I really don't. Kevin, you're a great guy. Don't let him tell you different. Okay? Don't leave. All right. We'll be right back. Playing trade. Was pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I had the chocolate Oreo. That was good too.
I feel like that's too much chocolate for me. I don't know if I'd be able to handle it.
I want my childhood. I can't die.
Relax. Guess we got weight. At least I have this.
Castlevania, Crisis, The Darkness 2, Darksiders 2, I'm getting closer. Titan?
What's going on, Nick?
Found Titanfall.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Why is it with the PS3 games?
I don't know. I think it's a sign, because I wasn't really, looking for it, but
Okay.
it shows up in the place that I was looking for something.
But
I'm
you
not
don't
sure.
have an Xbox One.
But I've heard nothing but good things from Steve. He wrote a review on it.
I mean, I haven't heard it yet, so how about we
So,
check
yeah.
it out?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Let's go.
Let's do that.
AI offline. Pilot mode engaged.
Sprinting and shooting your way across the battlefields of Titanfall, you may find it pretty similar to your average Call of Duty copycat. That is until you see a giant robot rocketing down from the sky. Respawn Entertainment's first release isn't only changing the classic run-and-gun formula with mechanical war machines known as Titans, they're also implementing a 100% multiplayer experience with a campaign that takes place entirely online. Titanfall's gameplay is extremely fluid. Double jumping and wall running your way across the map soon becomes second nature to the player. Being able to chain parkour movements together while fighting in the field is a one-of-a-kind thrill you won't find in any other first-person shooter. Titanfall feels like a different game once you enter your Titan, which acts as a bigger, more powerful extension of your character. And if you don't feel like stepping on your enemies, you can even command your own Titan to fight alongside you. There are also 15 maps to play on, and they're all intricately crafted playgrounds. This keeps gameplay fresh and exciting. Titanfall's always online multiplayer experience sacrifices what could have been an awesome cinematic campaign. Sure, there's a story that plays out on your HUD while you battle the enemy team with your fellow pilots, but it is easily drowned out during events of the match. A player can battle through the campaign, which you can play through as either a militia or IMC pilot, both of which offering different perspectives on the same story, without even understanding what you're fighting for or the emotional events that are falling short all around you. Another feature Titanfall is missing that could have been a neat addition is deeper customization. When compared to games with heavy customization features like Call of Duty or Halo, Titanfall pales in comparison. The character appearance is all predetermined based on classes and gender, but there's not much more to it than that. Despite Titanfall having a few cons, they are easy to overlook, and Respawn is constantly making updates and looking to add gameplay in the future. It's a fresh new take on the first-person shooter genre and offers exciting gameplay that will keep you interested in coming back for more. We give Titanfall an 8 out of 10.
Yo, did you see they have a Razor scooter game?
That's insane.
It was Blockbuster exclusive.
And look at all these controllers.
What did you think about Titanfall? Do you think it's cool? Do you think it's...
I think it's just another Call of Duty clone with like another couple added features like the parkour and the mechas are basically
the robots. I mean,
but the robots are basically just bigger humans that have more HP and like harder hitting weapons, but they're also bigger.
Yeah, I played around with it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it's fun to just hop in.
So what do you think about like it being exclusive? Because that's one of the major reasons why I haven't gotten it. Because I am.
It's on PC.
Is it on PC?
Yeah, it's on PC, Xbox 360.
Really?
Xbox One. Yes.
Well,
it is. But
what is on PC? Oh, EA Origin. Or
yeah.
Is it, oh, that's probably why I don't use Origin.
My problem with Titanfall is that it doesn't have dragons in it. And like
so
dragons
what has
are like
dragons?
they're like the coolest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree that dragons are basically the coolest thing.
Yeah.
So what would have dragons? What would you play that has dragons?
It's funny you should ask.
Yeah?
Elder Scrolls Online.
Ah. Tell me about Elder Scrolls Online. All right.
I'll tell you about it right now.
The storm is coming.
Elder Scrolls Online is a fantasy MMORPG that takes place over 1,000 years before the events of Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Elder Scrolls Online is a traditional theme park styled MMO with some sandboxy elements. After starting, you'll need to create a character. And how does that go about the character creation? Pretty well, actually. First, you pick your name, and unlike most other MMOs, you can put spaces in your name, give yourself a surname, or even a sentence for a name. This may seem gimmicky to the untrained Elder Scrolls eye, but this was necessary for those multi-word and sentence named races like orcs or Khajiit. Next up, you decide your faction. The factions are the Ebonheart Pact, the Daggerfall Covenant, and the Aldmeri Dominion. Unlike other Elder Scrolls games, you next have to select your class, and this is where it gets fun. There are 4 classes in Elder Scrolls Online: Dragon Knight, Templar, Sorcerer, and Nightblade, all of which are pretty self-explanatory on what they can do. However, unlike other MMOs, Elder Scrolls Online's classes do not restrict the player to weapon types, armor types, or races. After your class is chosen, you can modify your character's body and face. And with that, Elder Scrolls Online has brought back sliders to character creation. Elder Scrolls Online does use the first-person perspective as well as the third-person perspective, but the third-person perspective is way more effective in this game than others. Luckily, the third-person perspective is not goofy-looking, as in most other Elder Scrolls games, and since enemies have a much larger hitbox, third person is ideal. Because of this, Elder Scrolls Online loses its Elder Scrolls feel and feels a lot more like a traditional action MMO. Luckily, even though the game no longer feels quite like an Elder Scrolls game, it still plays solid. Yes, the hitboxes are a lot bigger, so to be more effective for an MMO, but it is an MMO, and the big hitboxes help tremendously when the player is engaged in giant siege battles or fighting a horde of spiders. And finally, we come to player versus player combat, which is pretty awesome. The only PvP in Elder Scrolls Online takes place in Cyrodiil, which is upsetting at first, until you get to Cyrodiil, and then you notice why it's alright to only PvP in Cyrodiil, because Cyrodiil is huge. It's a little smaller than it was in Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, but it's still pretty big. With giant areas comes giant battles of potentially hundreds of players and dozens of siege weapons. Yes, siege weapons. A player can use ballista, trebuchets, catapults, battering rams, and boiling oil to both defend and attack castles, fortresses, outposts, and other players. The goal of the PvP in Elder Scrolls Online is to steal the other faction's Elder Scrolls. Each faction has 2. The more your faction has, the more bonuses your faction gets, both in and out of Cyrodiil. And here's the kicker. Capture the most outposts and castles, and the faction that does gets an Emperor, who has increased stats all around and will flaunt their godliness on the battlefield. However, Cyrodiil does get a bit laggy, especially with the huge battles. All in all, Elder Scrolls Online is a pretty solid MMO. It may lose hardcore Elder Scrolls fans because of its gameplay, but it made the right decisions for an MMO. The character creation and customization is pretty good, the crafting is phenomenal, and the PvP is the best large-scale PvP I've played in a while, as long as you can handle the lag. Elder Scrolls Online gets 8 skooma out of 10.
I'm not interested in the $15 a month after paying $60 for it, and I would have rather have gotten just a single player experience.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to come out with Elder Scrolls for, like, a real Elder Scrolls game. They're not going to come out with that for a while.
Yeah.
Because of Fallout.
That's
but,
true.
I mean,
where do you think they would go now that they opened up all of Tamriel in?
Dude, I don't know Elder Scrolls. What you're
they opened up the continent. You used to only be able to go to a certain area. You know, Skyrim was the Nordic land.
Yeah. So now you're going to go to, like, is there like an Asia in Elder Scrolls?
No, well, yes, but that's not really accessible. That's like this weird.
They can make it accessible.
Yeah, probably. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Anyway, we're going to take a short break, and then after we do so, we're going to have an interview with Play and Trade co-owners Mike and Dan. So stay tuned.
Hello, welcome back to Game On. I'm Nick.
I'm John.
And we're here with Mike and Dan from Play and Trade, and we're here to just talk about video game stores and
Just chilling, just relaxing.
just hanging out, just a normal chat. So, well, first question, just to break the ice, like what kind of games do you guys normally play?
Pretty much everybody who works here, we all love RPGs. My, I guess, subcategory would be fighting games. I'm huge into fighting games.
When you say RPGs, you mean like JRPGs or like Elder Scrolls and
It's
Dragon
a
Age?
nice mix of the Japanese RPGs and the Western RPGs.
Cool.
Yeah, huge fan of the Tales series.
Yeah. Tales is a lot of fun. It's really popular. A lot of people like Tales.
Yeah, we saw a lot more here than actually people would think.
Yeah. I played the GameCube one. I guess it was just Tales of Symphonia. I played it ages ago, and I really liked it, even though like I had it on rental. Like that was back when rentals were still a thing. Nowadays, I could pick it up, but my GameCube is kind of dead. So
He did just come out with that release.
Oh, yeah.
Is that and like the second one or something?
Yeah,
that was, like
the
only
Wii.
in Japan.
Yeah, the Wii.
Yeah.
But
So what is it like to run a hard copy video game store?
Honestly, it's tiring, it's stressful. That being said, it is a lot of fun. On a day-to-day basis, we get to talk to customers about games, which is obviously something we both like.
yeah, and we're a little slow like we were today. We actually were playing Turtles in Time.
Nice.
Oh wow,
That's
amazing.
not a bad perfect.
Yeah.
The remake or the original?
The remake.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
Did they change the soundtrack?
They changed a lot. It was not nearly
That's-
as good.
I
But
downloaded it on Xbox Live years ago, and it was the actual Super Nintendo version. And we wanted to go play it today, and they, I guess, during an update or something, they changed it. Even like I thought it was just graphics originally, but it was levels, and they
That
changed
just seems
it.
weird.
They're monsters that were doing that. They're monsters.
Well, at that point, since I paid for the original Super Nintendo game, I don't want the remake.
Right, exactly. So does this like advent of online purchases like Xbox Live Arcade and like Steam, does that like take a hit into your profits and just the way like your business is run?
maybe a little, but I think if you want the hard copy, you're gonna buy the hard copy.
Yeah.
If you're okay with not having it, then we're not the store for you anyway. Like,
Right.
That's why, like all the retro stuff we carry over there, that's all you can emulate. All
What
of
is-
it. I mean,
yeah,
barely any
that's-
of it. So
That's definitely like an interesting concept because like GameStop across the street doesn't have anything pre like this generation. So
Yeah, I
that's
think they phased out like all of their PS2 stuff, all of their.
Oh yeah, no, it's only like Xbox 360
Current gen,
Yeah,
yeah.
current gen and above. So like,
you definitely get a lot of customers, especially because you're right next to a college, and college students sure love their retro games.
Yeah. Also, there's inherent value in like owning.
You have the game, like,
Yeah,
it's not
like you can
digital.
hold it in your hand. It's not just like there's a convenience of being able to download it wherever, but like it's nice being able to like hold on something like this is mine. This is a product that I bought.
Well, that's
I'm
the
gonna have
whole
this.
thing behind Steam. Steam is you are buying the rights to play the game, not to own the game. Like if Steam were ever to go, like it seems like weird to say because it's doing so well now, but like 10, 15 years down the line, if Steam like just goes away, I've got 125 games on Steam. They'll all be gone if Steam ever like goes away or crashes.
Well, I think they said that they have like contingency plans. Like if it goes down, they will somehow like make it available. I don't know how to do that. But then again, I don't work for Steam.
You get a lot of stuff. I mean, for Steam, you get a lot of stuff for nothing.
Yeah,
Everybody
definitely.
sales, so really, you're not losing that much as long as you get them, on that.
Most of those
That
games I
time.
did get at a
Summer
sale.
sales and stuff, yeah.
Now they have four sales, one for every season. It's kind of weird.
Do you guys move a lot of the retro games, like a lot of that
A lot.
products?
Yeah, it's probably one of the most heavily shopped areas in the store.
What do you guys? What kind of systems do you have retro games for? Do you have like Nintendo 64, PlayStation 1?
Yes.
Like farther than that?
Everything. Go back to ColecoVision and television.
Wow.
1977, I think. Something like that's been.
Atari.
So you hear that, all you Intellivision folks out there, if you want some games, come to Play and Trade. You got them.
So yeah, that's really interesting because you can't go to anywhere else to get it, and like you'd have to go online to either eBay or Amazon. eBay is the crapshoot that eBay is, and Amazon guts you for shipping. It doesn't it might seem like oh yeah, $20 is fine, and then you find out that you have to ship it for like $50 across the country when you can just walk into here. So that's the convenience is very nice.
You mentioned eBay. eBay's ruined a lot of the values of the retro games, whether it's increased them exponentially or it's decreased them. The game that comes to mind is Little Samson for the Super Nintendo. Up until a couple years ago, that game was $20-$30. Somebody one time online decided that they wanted it so bad that they were going to pay $450, and that game skyrocketed from that one sale.
Right.
Yeah, that's insane. That's really crazy that one
It happens all the
thing
time.
can have such like a ripple effect on the rest
I
of
could
the
see like very popular games like GoldenEye being just the price because the demand of it is so high that people would.
Yeah, I mean here we sell we sold Smash Brothers Melee for $15, but because of the online stuff, it's up to like $55 now.
Wow.
GoldenEye, I think is 12, something like that.
Yeah.
13. It's still pretty cheap
Yeah.
I was just talking
compared to online prices.
Yeah.
It's cheap.
Yeah.
So.
I was just talking to my friend yesterday, and his buddy just bought a GameCube for $30 and Melee for $50.
Wow.
So
Oh,
the
yeah,
game is
definitely.
now more than the console because like if you're gonna, that's what you're getting a GameCube for. Like if you're getting a GameCube, like what else are you gonna play besides like Metroid Prime?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much it.
But you do have a lot of accessories here. Definitely, I can just like every region has their own, like Wii has their accessories. So, how much do you think like people come here for just getting like not games, but like the things that come along with games, like the controllers and adapters? And
I mean, we sell the retro stuff. We sell a ton of accessories. The current gen stuff, I mean, we definitely do, but a lot of that's is an add-on.
I think I've been coming here like not regularly, but like a year ago, I came here like once a week to see if you guys had the expansion pack for the N64. Because that's that is $50 just on Amazon, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it's because it's
It's
two
a highly
games.
coveted item.
Yes, it's the two games I want to play: Majora's Mask and Donkey Kong 64, and I can't play them. because
It only works on 4 games. You need
those
like-
two games.
That's Perfect Dark, I think, too.
Oh,
Either
yeah.
way, but it's
Yeah.
it's nothing compared to the whole library.
You can't
Right.
you can't play them without a Rumble Pack or
No, the
no
expansion
expansion
pack.
pack. You can't play.
The RAM expansion.
I didn't have a.
You can't play Majora's Mask because they have like half of the game on the expansion pack or something like that.
Yeah,
it's
it's
like weird.
it's
And
not.
Donkey Kong 64, you can't play it because there is a game-breaking bug that the expansion pack fixes. It's like pre-patching.
That's
Mm-hmm.
that's something.
Yeah.
Expansion pack came with original copies of the 64 or the Donkey Kong.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
But like I lost my N64. Like I don't have my original N64, so I managed to get another one. I don't really know. It just showed up in my house, and it's
It doesn't have the expansion pack. Not really sure why or how, but
We probably get 2 or 3 phone calls a week as
Yeah.
up in the extension pack.
So you guys run tournaments here though. So how do those are those normally smooth or have there been any funny stories or hiccups where it just kind of spirals out of control?
Nothing too crazy. You run into little hiccups every once in a while. It's very important to go over the rules first before you do a tournament because you're always going to have somebody who is upset by something, whether you get disqualified.
That was
for whatever
my
reason.
next question. Have you seen any ragers, insane people who just? It's
not so much here. We do a lot of tournaments with Rowan that we do. Are affiliated with them in the student center, and it's free for the students to go down there. We were talking about Smash Brothers, the Wii tournament. We get a lot of people who are very amped up. I've had people argue with me over the rules, even though we go over them prior to the tournament.
Right.
People get
for one reason or another. Yeah,
they get real mad over the video games.
Yeah,
It's really.
it gets very, very competitive.
Do you
It's
think
crazy.
people get more mad online or in person? Is the social factor a limiter or an enhancer to some people's?
Some people probably get more mad in person. People have. I was going to say. I don't want to use. They have a little more free reign, I guess, when they're online because you're not yelling at someone right in front of you.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So there's no real consequences to flipping
You can
out.
just type it.
Yeah, exactly.
Tap away
Yeah,
on the keyboard.
yeah. If you say something in front of someone else, you might get.
Or in the case of Dota, you hear somebody scream at you in Russian and you're not really sure why. They're on the North American server, but whatever.
But I think that's caused a lot of people to be timid nowadays. So when they get in that group setting like a tournament, like Mike said, you don't have that free reign that you do online. When we grew up, we had no online. We had to play. We wanted to play
Put your quarters
2
on
or
the
3
machine.
players. Yeah, you had to put your quarter on the
Yeah.
machine, or you went over to somebody's house.
Right.
So I think
Throw a controller at the wall.
yeah. So I think a lot of people now, like Mike said, get angrier online than they do in person.
It doesn't stop some people. You may have heard about it because you said you're into fighting games and stuff. There's a fighting game player called Sanford, and he was just at a tournament. It wasn't a major tournament or whatever. It was just they were just playing. It's a weekly thing, and he lost, and he took his fight stick and threw it into the ground, and there was a dent in the tile. It's broken.
Oh
from the fight
no!
stick.
Professional gamers are some of the best ragers. There's this StarCraft player named Idra. He's famous in the online streaming community for his rage. He's a Zerg player on StarCraft 2. He saw one he was playing with StarCraft and he scouted out the enemy base. He saw one thing that didn't connect with him, quit instantly. In a tournament, in a world tournament, he just was no, I quit and walked out of the booth.
Wow.
And
It's pretty good.
yeah, I couldn't imagine being getting so mad that I would throw a tournament game.
A little bit of that is too. If someone does something unorthodox.
Yeah, how many people
But is it really? It's not unorthodox. The person doing it. It's
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
that's how it's
it's not how everyone else does it, so they don't know how to handle that.
How many
hiccup.
people get frustrated at King DDD being thrown out and getting just rocked by DDD in Super Smash Brothers tournaments? Because that's something that when I was playing Super Smash Brothers with my friends, somebody would bring out DDD and people would be like, "Oh, he's big and you can't you can dodge around him and he just knocks you out." And it's
That's what happens. That's the end of the match. I think the burning question that all of us have: what's selling more, PS4 stuff or Xbox One stuff?
It's not close, right?
It's
PS4.
PS4
it's not
is
close.
dominant. Yeah, it is really. I mean, people still think that you need to be connected online to play Xbox One. That's how much damage Microsoft did with their thing. So it's gonna be interesting to see how
they're in constant damage control.
Yeah.
And I see up there Elder Scrolls Online, which is another game that has a lot of mixed feelings just from the initial onset. That's the weird thing about the world we live in is if you don't have the best first impression, you can already lose half your player base just off the bat. I know it's split into half and half. Half of my friends will not touch Elder Scrolls Online. The other people have played it and they're it's amazing. And the people won't touch it on the principle of it being an MMO.
Some of those views are reflected in our review of Elder Scrolls Online that we did this episode.
Yeah.
It definitely takes away from the game. I was a huge fan of Elder Scrolls, back with the arena was a PC game. definitely I don't have time to play.
Right, to devote to an MMO or pay $15 a month.
$50 a month.
Yeah, on top of 60
It's
for the game.
It's a very archaic model that is just around because World of Warcraft is still profiting massively off of it.
I wish I could play it, but
Which they're also releasing another or they have released another expansion, World of Draenor, where you like can go back in time now or something like that. It's weird. It started to like I liked the Warcraft universe, like back in Warcraft 3, Reign of Chaos, and Warcraft 3 Frozen Throne, and then World of Warcraft came out and just like, yeah, you see this character that you play with, you kill him. You see this character, you kill him. Oh, him. You just end up killing the entire like pantheon of
It's just a lot to pay for not a new game.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what it is. So.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, we are out of time. It was awesome talking with you guys, Mr. Mike, Mr. Dan.
thanks very much, guys.
Yes.
And I'll be sure to stop in here sometime and pick up some hot retro games.
Yeah, and if you ever want to, stop by, you can just check out the address below. Well, they'll always be here when you guys are open most of the time during the week, right?
Monday to Saturday, 10 to 9. Sunday, 11 to 5.
All right. Well, thank you for talking to us again, and we will see you all later.
We just bogarted, and I can't even get my mic on.
Yo, this is the indie corner now.
Done.
Throw it up.
Do it.
Hell yeah.
Sweet.
I'm gonna take this and play some FTL Advanced Edition.
I like it. I like it.
I'm gonna beat all Nick's scores. No.
Really?
No.
Word? So they canceled us too?
You can't shut us out like this. We can't be silenced.